All right, joining us is IGN's Destin Legarie. You may recognize him from Fireteam Chat, where they complain about Destiny 2. And of course, Kate is back from the previous segments. So the question I want to pose to both of you, is Fortnite pulling ahead of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds? And before we get into it, I want to throw some stats your way. First, let's talk about concurrent players. PUBG in January hit a peak of 3.1 million on Steam alone. And now it's kind of slouching around 2.5, 2.7, 2.4 million, which is still very good. And then Fortnite claims to have hit 3.4 million across PC as well as all consoles. And the PUBG stat is not including the Xbox version as well, so it's a little bit of an unfair stat. But I think the stat that really puts the nail in the coffin, or at least brings this argument into a valid place, is the Twitch numbers, which even before yesterday in the recording of this, something astronomical happened last night on Twitch. With Ninja and Drake, and we'll talk all about that. But even before that, the PUBG peak concurrents were at 119,000, and Fortnite was at 318,000. And of course, last night, those numbers were completely obliterated. Kate, do you want to give us a rundown of what happened?
Yeah, so Ninja was streaming Fortnite as he does. Earlier that week, Drake, famous rapper, had contacted him on Instagram and said, I've seen some of your clips, I'm a huge fan, I would love to set up a time that we could play together. They duoed and they got up, just themselves, around 550,000 people watching. And then from there it kind of snowballed. So Drake brought in Juju, who is plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers, exactly. And then Kim.com came in because he's really good friends with Ninja. And then Travis Scott, another rapper. Yeah. They all got together and it blew up. It was insane, and I think it got up to like 628,000 concurrents at its peak.
It was up there.
Post Malone also was trying to get in on the action, but could not swing it. Next time Post for sure. Destin, immediately following this, Fortnite, I think probably on a whim, decides they're going to release access to Fortnite Mobile. You just got to play it on a stream. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, so we were playing on an iPhone 6s. That's the lowest model that's available currently. They're going to come out on Android in a little bit, but you can play on the 6S up to the 10, obviously, because that's what's available, and it runs fairly well. So they're pulling ahead a little bit from PUBG in the areas that they're getting coverage and the areas where the game is accessible to other people. You said that PUBG is actually coming out on mobile also.
They released in Canada on the Google Play Store today. They're not on iOS just yet, and I'm not sure if it's released in the States, but it might be a bit of a competition thing with them.
For sure, and I think my first impressions looking at Fortnite on mobile, it's a game that's very well optimized. It runs at 60 FPS on all platforms, with the exception of mobile, or can you do it at 60 FPS?
Well, the mobile is outputting to our capture devices at 720/60, but I actually want to go and count the frames before I make that call.
Sure. But just in terms of it being on a phone, and this being a Battle Royale game on a phone, I think it looks really good. I've yet to see the PUBG version, but the other areas which I think that PlayerUnknown's is pulling ahead are the community outreach, the folks from Epic working with Ninja to get all of that sorted, as well as just the developer cadence of having a lot of clarity when it comes to discussing what content is coming up, why. I think the limited time events, we have yet to see one of those in PUBG, with the exception of the GDC, or was it? Yeah, I think it was the GDC boxes. But anyway, there's no like 50v50, 20v20. Also, Fortnite is free to play. And I think
that's the big leg up, really, right?
It's a huge leg up. And it's getting to a point where it has reached this transcendence and is now kind of ingrained in popular culture. Obviously, that stream, it's also very controversial in like daily news media and is disseminating through the ranks of the American and probably international youth. And that's where I think it's really pulling ahead. I'm not so sure in terms of like the concurrent players. I wonder if the 2018 roadmap will fix that. So Kate, you're a Twitch streamer, you stream this every single day. PUBG, you stream PUBG every single day. Is there a pressure building for you to cover Fortnite or stream Fortnite?
I don't think so. I think the people who are there for PUBG are there for PUBG, and certainly some people come in and say, do you play Fortnite, have you ever? And I have, and it was enjoyable, but it's just not personally for me. I think I've just always gone with play what makes you happy, play what you enjoy, and so I enjoy PUBG. I'm going to continue doing that, but I also don't think that there should be choose one or the other. I know people that play both. I know people that enjoy both, and I think that's great because video games are for enjoyment.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a competition.
Totally, and going back to this phenomenon that happened with Drake and that other guy, Ninja.
You know that like little streamer Ninja?
Yeah, the little streamer Ninja who has 1 billion subscribers. So that was kind of crazy, and news outlets are going to report on that, and it's going to kind of transcend, like you said, across the board to more people. So more people are going to be knowing what Fortnite is, talking about Fortnite, and that's why I think it is pulling ahead a little bit.
Yeah, I think honestly the last time I can say that happened and that I was witness to it was maybe in like 2004 or 5, or it might have even been 6, when South Park released their Make Love Not Warcraft episode of World of Warcraft. I think that's when everybody knew this is going to be something that people are talking about for 10 years or more, and everybody will know it. So I think Fortnite has reached that point. I personally still enjoy PUBG more. I play PUBG more, but like you were saying, Kate, and you mentioned Destin, I think a rising tide lifts all ships, and this is really good for the Battle Royale genre in general.
Yeah, I love PUBG also. I love playing that game, but you can't deny what Fortnite is doing, obviously.
For sure.